Campaigners for the reopening of Manston Airport turned out in full force, flags flying, to meet Cabinet Minister Grant Shapps outside the closed airport building on the 18th of September. The airport has a proud history, from Spitfires and Hurricanes serving during World War II to British Airways A380 Super Jumbo for training pilots last year, thanks to the very long runway. Sadly, this is what the airfield looked like on the day of the meeting.
What do we want? CPO! Yeah!
They'll be on the TV later.
Yeah.
I was really here to say to people, to local people, you are not alone. You're not standing alone. We think that your vision for the future is something you should work back in, and that's why I want to be here in person to say.
Yeah. Will you have any influence over current owners and owners?
Well, there's a process that would have to take place. That's a legal process. It's not something the government can actually. But it still means that actually I hope that, knowing that the government is there, is standing by local people, that the local council, a fairly small district council in Thanet, is standing shoulder to shoulder with their two local MPs, Roger Gale and Laura Sands. The leader of the council I've met this morning, Iris Johnston, she's there, cross-party, cross-community, fighting for one thing, Manston Airport.
There are some that would say it doesn't mean what it says.
Well, look, if we have ambitions to make sure that this country can compete in the world, then one of the things you need to be able to do is export and import. That requires ports. You can, of course, do a certain amount of that with seaports, but airports are closing. We never see airports open. They're all built in the Second World War, effectively, and you lose them for good. It won't be that Manston will reappear in a few years' time. So I do think it's incredibly important to have an eye on infrastructure, and I wouldn't be here if this wasn't what local people were saying. I'm here because the MPs raised it in Parliament, the Prime Minister's given it his backing, and as a Cabinet member, I wanted to give it my backing too.
Thank you.
Right. Oh, sorry, I bumped your camera.
It's an incredibly important regional asset which has been operating for a long time, history back to the First and Second World War. And local people feel it's got a really big part to play in the future economy, jobs, growth of the area. I don't want people to feel that they are on their own in this fight. The central government wants them to feel that they've got the support, and they have, and that's why I'm here. Well, the local MPs have been excellent. Roger Gale, also Laura Sands, they've been excellent, and they've raised it with the Prime Minister, who said that he wants to see the solution found for the local community. I'm here because I believe that that's the case as well. The process of what happens next, the authorities thinking about that, things trying to crank up, it seemed to me that this was an opportune moment to say to the local council. Well, that's right. I mean, look, government doesn't run these services. We've got the people from the government on the ground in that is the local council. So I suppose it's a sort of moral support, it's practical support as much as, for example, the Chancellor's announced funding for his regional airports, doubled that funding in the last budget. So it's important, I think, this to believe in national investment. That's why we're building rails, that's why we're building roads, and that's why it's don't feel that they're on their own. Can't wave a magic wand and solve this issue. I can say to people, actually, the Senate government is watching for interest.
I have to turn that around.
Very much in our hands on the purchase side of things. The owner still owns the site. A lot of work to do. It's wonderful to see him here, and it's amazing to see as usual the Save Manston campaigners and supporters of Manston. I know from previous experience with the Green Bus that started in 2010, we had a few things to finalise on the 3 years for that. We're hoping that if support tells us that the purchase or reluctant purchase, if it goes for public inquiry, you never know how long it takes. I've sat through the public inquiry for 3 days. There's so many lawyers. We have to wait and see. We're in a good place now for the next stage. Yes, we've been discussing expanding, so we've had meetings down at Discovery Park and
It was nice, and he just carried it there, didn't
the government would love to get the application. A very strong business case.
I was by your friend who came to the Planning Rail.
I listened to that this morning. We have to put the case forward and there's an expansion from the Dover and Discovery Park side.
No, maybe that counts.
Just for us. Absolutely, yes.
Good afternoon. Why are you here?
Because I worked at Manston for 2 months short of 30 years.
Oh my.
And I supported it during the war, even my father brought me over here at times during the war.
Tell me about the war years.
We lived in Herne Bay, and I can remember very clearly seeing the bugs flying over, the Spitfires chasing them, very often shooting them down at the end of it.
Oh, right. And what is your name?
John Sherwell.
Lovely. I'm from Darwin Court, where we all go like waiting for God.
You're also from South Africa.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And if the airport had been open, my grandson would have come in here to get to Winchester, visiting me first. Okay, well, lovely chatting to you.
The South African pilots who took part in the Battle of Britain are commemorated in the Memorial Gardens at the Spitfire Museum and within the museum itself, where Squadron 222 from Natal, where I was born, are commemorated and their service during the Battle of Britain recognized. For me, this was a very poignant moment, as it was the very first I had heard about it. And may this epitaph to Donald Linghorn from his widow not be in vain. Godspeed to River Oak and the Thanet County Council as they enter negotiations once more for the reopening of Manston Airport next year.